My first guest tonight is serving his first year as the governor of Louisiana, but he's no stranger to public service. He's previously served the Pelican State in Congress and also as its 45th Attorney General. Please give a big ol' Huckabee Show welcome to Governor Jeff Landry of Louisiana. Governor, it is really great having you here. You know, when I get somebody from Louisiana, the first thing I got to ask them, what's your favorite Louisiana recipe? I mean, that's what's important, right?
Gumbo.
Gumbo. That's my dog's name, by the way. One of my dogs is named Gumbo. Why not?
It's great. You should come down and have some gumbo with us.
You know, I can't think of anything I'd love more because I'm telling you, I may not be an LSU fan, but I do love the state and the people and the absolutely phenomenal recipes that
Well,
you
we
got.
love that SEC, and we love when Arkansas comes and plays at LSU.
No, you don't. You don't love it at all.
No. We love when you'll come and we win.
That's what I mean. And you beat us up pretty bad, and it's rough. But let me just say
hang in there. It'll come around.
Yeah, it's got to get better. It's got to get better. You had a remarkable career as Attorney General before you became governor. You were one of the really leading attorneys generals in the country, challenging a lot of the nonsense of the federal government. And I really believe that the action these days is not in Washington, it's at the state level. Why is that?
Well, because we don't fix the country in Washington, D.C. We fix the country by fixing our states, because it was the states that made the country. You know, I tell people all the time that the Constitution is a contract between the people in the states, and the federal government's a byproduct of it. And so I believe that we fix the country when we fix our states.
You elected governor, and then you got right to work with education reform, working on things on crime, because, you know, 3 of the top 10 cities that have had high crime rates are in the state of Louisiana. So you've taken that head on, and a lot of governors would just say, oh, it's not really a problem. But what are you doing that's helping to get that turned around?
Well, Louisiana was pretty much a train wreck over the last 8 years, and we saw our economy decline. We saw the statistics on education at the bottom, and our crime. Like you said, we had 3 cities in the top 10 most dangerous cities in the country. And so, you know, I just drew upon my experience, not only as the 8 years of Attorney General, but also as I served as a sheriff's deputy and a police officer in my earlier years. And I knew that when you instill law and order, you instill stability, and we went right to it. The legislature came in, we called a special session, and in 2 weeks, we passed 20 sweeping bills that basically created transparency in our criminal justice system with an eye that said, listen, when good people make bad decisions, they deserve a second chance, but when bad people continue to do bad things again and again, they need to go to jail.
You know, New Orleans is one of the really great cities of the world. I mean, it truly is. The culture, the cuisine, I mean, it's just unique. Are you taking steps that are making it so that people can feel safe when they go to New Orleans again?
Oh, absolutely. We did it from day one. We instituted a troop NOLA, so we put the state police directly in the city of New Orleans. The city of New Orleans had been under a federal consent decree. And for those of y'all that don't know, this is when the federal government comes and says that we're going to take over your police department, and you end up with one of the most dangerous cities in America, because some federal judge who knows nothing about law enforcement is trying to dictate how you run a police department. And the policies were basically more coddled towards the criminals than they were towards the victims. We went in there, brought the state police in. We took, and again, the sweeping reforms that we took in a special session, I think, are paying dividends now. We're starting to see crime fall. I mean, at one point in time, the city of New Orleans had people riding around with dirt bikes and four-wheelers, and you could have swore it was a third world country. Today, we're not doing that. The state police in there, we're seizing those bikes. We're telling people law and order is back on those streets.
What a novel idea, actually enforcing the laws that you've already got. No wonder you're one of the most popular governors in America right now, and I know that that's the truth. The polling numbers show that the people of Louisiana are responding very, very positively to the leadership that you've given them.
Well, you know, the sad thing is, I think about my grandfather. If he could come out the grave, he'd say, I can't believe they gave you the job to do something that sane people would want to do anyhow, you know? But that's where we are in America.
Your state is a very, very energy-focused state. You have a lot of offshore drilling, you've got oil and gas, and also an enormous number and significant refineries. What is it that most Americans in non-energy states may not understand about how important energy is, even if they don't live in an energy-centered state?
Well, you're right. I mean, Louisiana is home to 21% of the refining capacity in the entire country. When you say the refining capacity, all of the great things that we enjoy that improve America's quality of life are made mostly with petroleum products out there, and they make them down in Louisiana and Texas, and the Gulf Coast, I think, has 57% of refining capacity. Look, I've always believed it's all about energy. You know, Governor, it's all about bringing Americans affordable energies that runs an economy. I mean, think about it. It's as important as when you get up in the morning and you want to turn the hairdryer on. If you're a lady that's going to get ready to go to work, you want that hairdryer to go on.
I wish I had enough hair to worry about that. I really, really do. But yeah, I know that a lot of the women in the audience would probably be pretty well lost without that.
When the AC, you want the air conditioner to work, especially if you're down here in the south, the heat in the winter, and if you're up north. And again, I think that's what we've lost, just common sense when it comes to energy policy in this country. I mean, in a country that is so blessed with so many opportunities for energy to drive our economy, what we're focused on is what we're focused on in Louisiana is really trying to focus on the industries and the businesses that built Louisiana, because those industries help to build America as well. And we're working to streamlining the permitting process. We're working on being responsible, but we're also looking at being responsive to the needs that the industry needs.
It's tough, though. I mean, you're doing that at the state level, but the federal government has declared war on fossil fuels at a time when, just before Joe Biden came in, we were energy independent for the first time in 75 years. He comes in and basically says, we hate fossil fuels. And I'm just wondering, do most Americans even understand that without the resources of energy that we have, a lot of which are fossil fuels, the entire economy begins to fall apart?
Oh, look, if they hadn't figured it out, they're starting to. And if you look at the high prices that we pay at the pump, the utility costs that we're paying today, inflation is eating away at the middle class right now, and it's all based upon terrible policies. It has nothing to do with solid, fundamental economics. And look, I've been raving about that since my days in Congress. And you're right, we had finally, under the Trump years, we had finally started to turn America into an energy-dominant country. We finally had an opportunity under which we had some leverage over the rest of the world. And in 4 short years, the Biden administration has taken that leverage and just basically given it to all of the countries that actually hate the United States.
Well, I'm hoping that your example can be seen in other states and people will recognize this is just common sense policy. I want to shift to education because you're doing some very bold, creative things, heavy lifting, but it's also getting the pushback from the expected teachers' unions and people who don't want parents to be making decisions about their children. So talk about what you're trying to get done in Louisiana and how you'll get it done in spite of opposition.
Well, you were one of the first governors to really tackle education and educational reform back then. And we've just been building on what we've seen going on around the country and especially in the South. And again, we want parents to be in control. We want the money to follow the child. We want parents.
I think most everybody here as a parent can say amen to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's their tax money. They should be able to be in control of it. And, the thing that we did to balance it, because you hear it from the public school teachers, and usually my mother was a public school teacher. And so what we did was we created a program called Let the Teacher Teach. And so we invited public school teachers to come in and tell us what are the things that the government is doing to basically prevent them from being able to educate kids. And so we started working on things like discipline in classrooms, making sure that we took away the things that just basically made teachers today babysitters or social workers. If we need social workers in school, we'll get social workers, but we want teachers to teach. And so we balanced the ESA,
I think these people want to register to vote in Louisiana. Go ahead.
We're going back to the basics, too. Look, we did 2 things that were real unique. We just signed up with PragerU, so that PragerU teachers are going to be able in Louisiana to use PragerU for history curriculums, which is actual factual history. And then I signed a bill.
You're getting more applause in your segment than I've had in 7 years. I just want you to know that.
Well, you're gonna
but you know what? I'm happy
this
about
one
this.
because we just signed a bill that says we're going to display the 10 Commandments in school.
God bless you. You'll get sued.
We'll get sued. We got a great attorney general.
You know, you do. You had one for a long time when you were in that job. Folks, I want to tell you something. I wish we had 50 governors just like Jeff Landry. I bet you agree with me. He's getting the job done, and we're thrilled to have him here with us. Hey, if you want to keep up with Governor Landry as he serves the people of Louisiana and sets an example for the rest of the country, here's how you do it. Go to our website at huckabee.tv. We will connect you to Governor Landry and the state of Louisiana.